Мне понравилось, когда на пресс-конференции перед началом турнира вам задали вопрос, и вы сказали, что я капитан этого корабля, всего ИИХФ, это моя команда, и у нас есть стабильность, я веду его вперед. Вот ваш корабль, у вас будет вот конгресс, какие у вас большие планы на ближайшие годы, что самое главное для вас?
At the first press conference you said that you feel that you are the captain of the big ship and you are sailing and everything is okay. But what is your plans for the next term?
Actually, we are discussing 4 points in the next 4 years. The first point, I think, is the most important, is about safety of player safety. Personally, we think that we have too many injuries in the last 3 or 4 years. We have a lot of concussion. We realize that the players are getting bigger, faster. You know, today a player can get over 45 kilometers an hour speed. The weight is 100 kilograms. We have a puck going over 100 miles or 160 kilometers an hour. And the thing is very special. We cannot escape. You know, like in a football field, or you can just escape. We have the boards, so if you are really in the arena, in the ring, so you cannot escape. So, and that's the place where we have a lot of injuries. So we have to find and approach a new discussion about the rules. Do we have the right rules to play hockey? Is it more maybe a player's behavior? When I speak with coaches, former coaches today and other people, they are watching the game. They really think that the main issue is the players' behavior, players not respecting other players. So there is a way where we can help is in the coaching development and the players' development for the future, how to respect an opponent. On the other side, if we go back today, if there is a player who is injuring another player, the suspension should be much longer than just 3 or 4 games. You know, if there is really a bad check, we should then maybe go to 10, 15 or 20 games suspension and with big fines. So they will, I hope, then understand that we have to respect the players. This actually is the point number 4. Also, I repeat, safety of players. The second point is good governance. You know, good governance now with the FIFA problems we had with the track and field and other bigger federation. There is an issue on the good governance in their own federation. So we should adjust our statutes and bylaws. That means we should have an ethics commission. We already have, but we should just do it in a different way. We need a finance commission, transparency, compliance. We are really good in our statutes and bylaws, but we have to adjust that in the next 4 years. We have our General Congress in 2018. That will be the place where we will do this. The third point is the cooperation with the KHL, the NHL, the different leagues in Europe, and the different clubs we have also in Europe. I would like to have a better communication with these leagues and the clubs. Actually, they do the day-to-day business. So we need to discuss with them to find a dialogue. Why not to have a European Champions League where we have also the participation of Russia. We have too high number of the clubs at the moment in the Champions League with 48 teams. It makes no sense. So we have to start to work that we can find a common consensus. And the fourth point is Asia. Asia is, for us, the main goal. We have today 22 members from Asia. We will have 3 new members coming, Nepal, Indonesia, Philippines. And having the games in 2018 and 22 in Asia, Pyeongchang and Beijing, that's the great opportunity that we can use the wave created by the Winter Games to bring young people, boys and girls, to our game of hockey. This is the 4 points. May I repeat? Player safety, good governance, league cooperation, clubs and league cooperation in Asia.
Как раз по поводу League Cooperation сейчас находится в Билделе, здесь ведет переговоры с федерациями. И какие вообще смыслы визита, что мы можем с этого
Bill Dale is here, he is negotiating the federations. What is the aim of his visit?
It's nothing special, it's just to come to say hello. We have the election tomorrow, so he wants to be part. We are working really, really well with the NHL in the last 22 years. We had no concerns. For sure, there's a different world. They have a 4 billion turnover today. It's really professional. It's the North American way to have sport as an entertainment and show. We are a little bit different in Europe, but I must say, in the last 5 Winter Olympic Games, we had the participation of the NHL players. So it means that we have this good relation to work with them. And the visit of Bill here and Don Fair is just to be social, to come and say hello, and we will have for sure in the next month or two negotiation about the participation of the NHL players in Pyeongchang and Beijing. But what I'm speaking about, as I said, the NHL is not a big issue. We have a good cooperation, but we should have more discussion with KHL and the rest of the European leagues and clubs. So bring them a little bit more together, having a common dialogue, having a common goal. We need to have a strong European hockey. And if we divide, as we do now, with the KHL on one side, with Finland, Sweden a little bit in the north, and then you have Central Europe, the Czechs, and then Slovak on the other corner, we should really work together, that together we can build up a strong European hockey where we can then compete with the North American hockey.
Я хотел бы уточнить по поводу того, что участие НХЛ в Олимпиаде. Я читал несколько интервью.
I would like to clarify a little bit about participation of NHL players at the Olympics, and he read some interviews.
Я так понял, что ситуация не очень хорошая в том смысле, что
situation is not very good.
Потому что камень преткновения, Международный Олимпийский комитет не хочет оплачивать страховки и транспорт.
IOC doesn't want to pay insurance and transportation.
И цена вопроса порядка $10 миллионов.
We are speaking about $10 million.
И неужели из такой небольшой по меркам хоккея суммы может сорваться такой грандиозный проект, как участие НХЛ в Олимпиаде?
Aren't you afraid that because of such a small amount of money?
Small?
Для хоккея это зарплата одного Овечкина в год, по сути.
It's just salary of one Ovechkin per year.
Yeah.
Tell this to Ovechkin.
Yeah, for sure. $10 million is a lot of money for our federation. We have a budget of $35 million per year. In the Olympic year, we have $70 million budget. We spend around every year $21 million, non-Olympic year, $21 million for organizing different tournaments all over the world. Under 18, under 20, senior men, under 18 women, plus women championship. So it costs around $21 million out of a budget of 35. And the rest is, we have 30 people working in the federation. The rest is used for administration and the development, clinics, camps, and all that. So, Seva is a good coach. And so, once again, the $10 million is maybe not a big amount for some of the people, but in our budget is 1/3 of the year. So it still will impact if we don't get the money or we cannot find the money. It will impact on the future development of ice hockey. So for sure we are a little bit disappointed about the reaction of the IOC for transportation and insurance, what they paid in the last 5 years. But they have their reasons, so we have to accept it. Our goal is to find some other people that are ready. I'm starting already to speak now with the organizer in Pyeongchang. I have to speak with the different NOC, National Olympic Committees of the different federations. I spoke here with Mr. Zhukov. Mr. Zhukov said, René, if we can help, we will. So I have to go to US, I have to go to Canada, Sweden and Finland, I mean the bigger ones, where they have huge costs, to find a way how we can cover these costs.
Министр Мутко сказал прямо, что создается Кубок мира, и ему это не нравится, потому что чемпионат мира должен быть выше в иерархии хоккейной. А тут создается турнир, который может эту иерархию поменять.
Mr. Mutko said that he is not in big favor with the World Cup because he considers that World Championship should be above all, and this hierarchy should be changed. You see, World Cup, but from my point of view, you see World Cup is just occasionally. It's not permanent. It is. Last World Cup was in 2004. Now it's 16. Where the heck they been?
Yeah, you see, in 2005 the World Cup. So actually, we have the most important hockey tournament at the moment on the globe is the Olympic tournament. You know, with the best of best. This is no doubt played in February with the environment of the Winter Olympics, with the other winter sports. It's really the top. And then we have every year, like we have every year, Wimbledon and Roland Garros and US Open, and then all this famous tournament. Every year we have our World Championship. 16 teams, other environment, going to a country, every different country, has this special atmosphere where we celebrate the game and we finish the season actually of ice hockey. We do not have all the best names, I mean, for the reason because they are playing in the playoffs, but that's okay. We don't need caviar every year. We don't need that, you know, or every day. I mean, if we have caviar every day, what for? So, and this is also the place, the World Championship. I have a very good example here in Russia. Now, we have actually young stars, 3 very, very well-performing young stars. Austin Matthews, in the U.S. team, he will be, we think, #1 draft in June. We have Connor McDavid with Edmonton. He was #1 draft last year. And we have Patrick Laine, I mean, the future star also in the Finnish team. So we have these young stars being part of this World Championship. If the big stars would be here, not sure they would be able to play in this tournament and be on the big podium of the hockey world. So World Championship every year, celebration of hockey, and then we have the World Cup. I really like this idea of the World Cup next September. It's not déjà vu. You know, it's not the World Championships, not Olympics, because we have the top 6 plus the European selection, plus the under-23 US and Canada. Huge hockey show. In Toronto, Hockey City. In Canada, hockey country. And playing with the NHL rules, some show, entertainment. We will see the best players of the world. And they do that now. Okay, the last one was 2005. Now they do it. I hope they're going to do it that in the next 4 years they will do that again, maybe in a different format. But this is for the hockey fan. We play ice hockey for whom? For sure, the players, I mean, they play that. But the fans, they want to see the show. They want to see the stars. They want to see the young stars, and they want to participate in that emotion. I would love to play World Championship 2 times a year, you know, and the World Cup every year, and the Olympic Games every year too. But that's too much, you know. So I'm just kidding. But with the way we have today, you know, with the World Championship every year, now the World Cup, and then the Olympic Games, очень доволен.
Президент ИИХФ Рене Фазеля известен как человек с широким кругозором. Его можно встретить на Формуле-1, например, на каких-то других больших соревнованиях. Чему он учится у других видов спорта, что можно перенять в хоккей?
It's well known that you are a man of wide vision, and it's possible to see you at the Formula 1 race and other big events. Do you study experience of these events and how to use in ice hockey?
У футбола того же самого. Чему можно учиться?
I'm a huge sports fan. You know, I cannot say that I have sports I do not like to watch. The sport actually is a human expression of the man and woman to express their talent and their, how you say it, very difficult to find the word, but their expression in doing something. It's like arts. They are artists. You know, a hockey player for me, Ovechkin is an artist, and all the people here. The way they skate, the way they move, the way they shoot, the way they are happy when they score a goal. When you watch them, this is human being, expression, emotion, talent, artist. So, and in different sports, we have these too. I say ice hockey is #1. You are on skate, you are on ice, you have to use your hands, you have to use your brain, your eyes, you can be hit, you are like in a cage. There is not many sports like this. Football, you run and shoot. I love football, so I have no issue with that. And other sports, you know, with table tennis, you have your hands. Basketball, you have a ball to put in, and handball. ice hockey is very, very special. The ice hockey, I would say, is the best ever athletes in the world, as what he needs to perform in his sport. So I'm a sports lover, and I can always learn from others, you know. And this is why you can then adjust the future, your game or your view to that. And that's doing this for the fan. That's actually my life.
Уточнить, я, кстати, хотел, на какого актера или героя кино похож Овечкин? Джеймс Бонда, может, потому что он 12 раз уже на чемпионат мира приезжает, он 30 лет. Он рекорд Третьяка скоро побьет.
Ovechkin is for the 10th time at the World Championship, and he is 30 years old. Maybe he can beat the record of Tretiak. And if you compare with movie stars, Ovechkin reminds you maybe James Bond or somebody like this, or
Forever.
You know, when I heard that he will come, I mean, he lost with his team with Washington. On one side, I was very happy to see him here. On the other side, I was a little bit disappointed that he will not have the chance to win at least once in his career the Stanley Cup. So, you know, they are winning the President's Cup. I mean, they were the best team in the regular season, and then you lose in the playoffs. And I see, thank you, Alex, I mean, that you are here, because it's not easy for him. You know, he also has a dream to win one day the Stanley Cup, so it must be very difficult. But his heart, you know, for Russia is so strong and so good that he said, no, I go and back and play. I have big admiration of sports people like them, you know. I remember one day Matt Sundin, you know, he lost actually his fourth teeth just before coming to, he lost in the playoffs with Toronto, and he came to the World Championship just to represent his country. I mean, this kind of stars, we have really to respect them. Other people are not coming, but I respect also that. If they are injured or not so ready to play with their national team, they better stay home and let the other guys come that they really want to play for the nation and represent the nation in the championship.
Откуда у вас такая любовь к России и как давно начали плотно учить русский язык и какие успехи?
so. Where it starts your love to Russia, and when you started to study Russian language, and what about your successes in Russian, but not hockey
Language.
vocabulary?
No hockey vocabulary. No, I came the first time to Soviet Union in '81 for the under 18 European Championship at that time in Minsk, 1981. Brezhnev, Soviet time. First time in Moscow, you know, we had to come to Moscow from Zurich, and then from Moscow to Minsk. It was an unbelievable experience. I love the phone of Sema.
Это в тему, музыка в тему была как раз, ностальгическая, 81 года.
No, it's not okay. And actually, I would say my mother, very soon, when we spoke about Soviet Russia, she was always giving me I mean, she loved the Russian people, the Russian world, the approach of people, and she was teaching me a little bit the approach to Russian people in a different way than it was in the communist time, in the Soviet time. So, and I started to have very good friends in the beginning 80s from St. Petersburg, and then I was elected president of the Swiss Ice Hockey Federation. I organized in '87 an exhibition game in Bern with the Soviet team, you know, the big Soviet team. I mean, the KLM, you know, Krutov, Larionov, Makarov, Bukov, Komutov, Kamensky. They made a big show playing against Switzerland. They were just starting the first period, and I had to tell my good friend Kostrukov to cool down. You know, we had 17,000 spectators in Bern. It was a very funny experience, you know, and the people were very happy. So I really started to love Russia, the Russian ice hockey. I was always a Soviet hockey fan, Mikhailov, Petrov in the 60s, watching them, how they play. So it was growing, you know. It's really, and appreciating my friends, and I started to have really, really, really good friends in Russia. They started, and when I was listening to some words, you know, you can imagine when you are very happy, you say some words, and when you are not happy, you say some other words. So then you ask, then you come, you know, I don't say the words here, I cannot say, the ladies here, so, and other people. So, but, and then you start, and the friends, they start to tell you, and actually I decided to start more or less 2 years to have a better approach, you know, for, instead to make crosswords, I said, why not to learn some Russian, you know, the alphabets, and start to speak. So my goal, before I leave this world, I think I have to speak Russian. So my goal is for sure that I want one day to come to Russia for 3, 4, or 5 months. I will bring my wife with me also, that I can really stay here. And I promise you, I will speak Russian. I have very good friends teaching me, like Seva Kukushkin. You know, when I made the opening, Seva was the person who's just preparing my speech, or also in St. Pete. So this is actually also the way to show the Russian how I like and how I like them. I love them. So.
I think you can just small remark. I think you send a trend because Infantino, president of FIFA, now start learning Russian as well.
Yeah, Infantino. So you know, in Switzerland we used to grow up in speaking more languages. I speak German. I spoke German with my father, and I speak French with my mom. I live in Fribourg, Bück-auf-Kommutov city. In Fribourg, 70% speaking French and 30% German. So you have an environment like in Wallis, Infantino, same way, French and German, you know. And he's Italian origin. So already, just to grow up, he has 3 languages: Italian, German, and French. And then his wife is from Lebanon, so Arab is coming in. And then you have, if you speak Italian, you're gonna have very easy to speak Spanish and Portuguese. I speak Spanish, you know, I was 5 years in Spain. So French, German coming with mother and father. Then you start to speak English because that's the international language. You go to Spain, you speak Spanish. When you speak Spanish, Portuguese is much easier in Italian. And so it's just a normal situation, not special. Russia is not easy to learn, I tell you, but I will.
Может, к Харламову еще потом вернемся к Харламову?
Ну да, вернемся к этой теме. Ну вот недавно Рене Фазель был судьей на матче, в котором играл Владимир Путин. Насколько нюанс этого матча, там может секьюрити очень много вокруг этого, и как можно представить ситуацию, чтобы он дал 2-минутный штраф Владимиру Путину?
Well, recently you were whistling the game for Putin in Sochi, and maybe it was too many security or so, and also is it possible to imagine that you give 2 minutes penalty to Putin?
Or send him to the bench. Yeah, exactly.
In this game they do not send to the bench.
The penalty shot.
Penalty shots.
Yeah,
Instead of, you see, this, they permit penalty shot, but you see, we are joking. I said, look, you are the only one person in the whole world who can stop Mr. Putin. Just make a whistle and he stops.
You're right, absolutely right.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know, some people are asking me that, you know, if I could play. I said, I prefer to be the referee, because then when I blow the whistle, everybody stops. You know, even defense minister, all the people there, because this is the rule. And about your president, I mean President Putin, he's very respectful person. Outside in general, he respects people very, very much. And on the ice, he's actually the same person. You know, he respects the rule. Every time I was playing, I was being referee, he was never offside, never. He's very controlling the way to respect that rule, and he's never doing some other do. I mean, you have other people, ministers, that they are playing in a different way. He's very respectful, so I never have the chance, say so, to give him a penalty or being offside with him. So he's very respectful. And you know what? To start with 58 to play ice hockey, as this is the most difficult sport to practice at 58, oof. That's even more difficult than learn Russian when you're 80 years old, you know. So it's I respect him so much, you know. I have big admiration for him, what he's doing, and to find the time in this very difficult situation where we have politics now, to find the time to come and celebrate the game of hockey with us. Огромное спасибо.
Ага. Был вопрос про Харламова, будет, получается, в этом году 35 лет с момента его гибели. Удавалось ли как вам с ним пересечься в жизни или, может быть, в игре?
Did you ever have a chance to meet Valery Kharlamov, and did you maybe in the game or something like this? Because this year it will be 35 years since he passed away.
Насколько важно наследие для хоккея такого большого человека?
His heritage is important for hockey.
Yeah, I remember him, but at this age, I was not really involved. I was still a referee in Switzerland, and I was not in a high level where I could meet Kharlamov, you know. But I was watching him. I mean, I was a big fan of him. Very disappointed when I heard but I didn't have the chance to really meet him.
You've seen the movie Legend?
I saw the movie. Yeah, I saw the movie in Russian.
Хорошо?
I saw the Legenda, no? Legenda.
Legend.
Yeah, I saw the movie in Russian in Sochi.
Yes, I think it's a great movie.
Yeah, I like it very much. Yeah.
No, because the reason is Sovietsky sport, they own the brand Kharlamov Trophy.
Oh, good.
In one of the ideas, it's Kharlamov Trophy. We give the trophy to the best Russian player that plays in AHL. But now we're discussing maybe to create an international global event called Kharlamov Trophy.
Yeah.
That's an idea. That's why Kharlamov brand is very important
Yeah.
to us.
No, he was an unbelievable star, you know. As you have so many in Russia, do not forget he is the star because he passed away so young. You know, it makes him. He was very, 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 very good, and unfortunately he passed away. You know, young player. So, but you have other great players. I mean, Yakushev, Petrov, Mikhailov. I mean, Mayurov. I can start. I will not end. You know, you have unbelievable hockey players in the history of hockey. Do not forget that. And Kharlamov is the legend. You know, because of the special situation. But he was really, when I saw him play, he was very special.
Я слышал байку, что когда Рене работал судьей в Швейцарии, он при этом еще практиковал как дантист и даже учил зубы Быкову. Вячеславу, там
Да,
играл. Так ли?
конечно.
Да?
Да.
И Смирнову тоже.
Вот как это совмещать?
The whole family, you know, they came to me, Khomutov, Bykov, the parents of Slava Bykov. So I was reading the whole Russian. Actually, I started to have some lessons from the translator. I mean, the teacher, the French teacher to Slava Bykov. You know, she had some tooth problem, and she came to me, and then we negotiated that she will teach me some Russian. I started to teach some Russian. It's very important for me in the education of the young generation of the kids to learn to say thank you in a foreign language. Thank you, добрый день, здравствуйте, спасибо, thank you, and I love you. These are the communication we should have with people. It's the respect to people. You go in a foreign country and you say Guten Tag, Bonjour, Merci, Dankeschön. This is the first approach. You know?
У меня еще буквально несколько последних вопросов, вот буквально парочка осталось. Вот все-таки спросить о футболе, потому что будет в июне такое событие большое. Будет ли смотреть как болельщик и какой сборной будет симпатизировать? А может быть, чего-то какой-то там вот с точки зрения организации что-то интересное будет?
Я слушаю.
Интересно.
I hate football. Because from my point, no, it's my word. He is asking you, there will be a big event in June.
Europe,
see,
yeah.
Will you go and watch this soccer? And soccer is not sport. Soccer is soccer.
I like football very much. No, football is the sport number one in the world. The only place where it's not really number one is in the USA, you know, in Canada, because there are other sports. Canada for sure, hockey is number one. So, but football all over the globe, why so? Because it's so easy to play. You need a ball, even not a pair of shoes, a ball and you can play. So everybody has the feeling he is an expert in football. Even myself, you know, I try to. Football is also this, you know, we have these big arenas with 70, 80, 90,000 people. And you have this atmosphere on the field. You have great artists, Messi, Ronaldo, and I mean, I don't know why some people don't like it. This is a great show. I love football. So it will be a big event in Europe. in France, and I hope to go and see some games. I didn't think now what game I'm going to move, but I hope to go there. Why not for the final or for the opening? But as I like this game so much, I will go for sure to watch a game. Or TV. Today TV is so good with the high definition, the big screens, to sit home, to drink a little beer and watch. Perfect.
А мой последний вопрос, наверное, будет таким, что с темой допинга, то есть она какая-то двоякая получается. С одной стороны, правильно бороться с допингом, когда это запрещенный препарат, а та же тема с мельдонием превратилась в какое-то безумие. То есть его даже не изучили, но уже запретили, и люди начали попадаться на это.